Hi guys, this is just a fan of the paperize.io software. I'm going to show you today how to create a really quick uh, project in Paperize. The scenario I've got here is I'd like to make handouts for my D&D players for this puzzle, for this Sudoku puzzle, and I want to use these runes here, these symbols, to represent the numbers on the puzzle, and so I want to hand out these runes throughout the dungeon as they go through it, and so I want them just be simple handout cards that I can hand them out throughout the session. And then when they come to the end, they'll find this game board with a few of the numbers set, and hopefully they have collected all of these runes, right, and they'll be able to solve the puzzle. Paperize will allow me to very quickly generate these cards that I need. So let's go ahead and do that. I've already created this in the project here, but I'm going to create a new game to show you guys how easy it is. Let's call this Rune Puzzle. I'm going to let it create a new folder inside of my Google Drive. It's going to generate a sheet for me to use, and it's going to generate an images folder so that it knows where to find my images. Great. So we are starting with a blank game here, and if we look at this button here, it'll open up the spreadsheet that it created for us, and we can start designing in here. But what I actually want to do is I want to create a new component. We'll just call it the actual runes, right, or rune cards, doesn't matter. And it says add a sheet to the main spreadsheet for this component. Yes, that would be great. That way we can keep ourselves organized if we add more components to the game. This little button will take you exactly to the sheet, which we can see that it is the same sheet, or the same spreadsheet, and there's just these different sheets down here which you can use. And you can use sheet 1 and you can rename them, all that jazz, and import them into your project. Wonderful. You can also do multiple spreadsheets. You don't need to do this sheet here, but it does keep it all nice and neat in one place for you, which is fun. So what do we need to do? We need to get 5 different images in, and I need 5 of each of these images, and that's all I really need. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Google Drive. I'm actually going to cheat a little bit here and go back to my Whiz puzzle that I created and steal the images out of this folder. I do believe that I can make a copy. But once I've got those images inside of here, then I can go to my spreadsheet and I can start telling Paperize what to print on my cards. So what do I need here? I need how many cards I want. We'll use just a quantity, and what image they're on. What I normally do for designing cards is I always take this top row here, make it bold because it's our headers, and then I'm going to do a freeze frame on the first row, which just means that if we scroll up and down, those 2 headers will always be there, which is kind of nice. So the name of these components, unfortunately for the images, if we look at Rune Puzzle images, we got copy of Arcane 1, copy of Arcane 2. It's kind of annoying. I could just rename them, but we'll just do copy of Arcane 1. You could do Arcane 1.png because that's what it is and that's what it accepts. But I'm going to show you a neat little trick for that, just for funsies. And then we need each of those individually, and I want 5 of each of them. Cool. So now, if I refresh this, it will at least know that I have stuff input. there's this quantity property, which is what we want our quantity. That tells it how many cards to produce. And you see, it already knows it wants 25 cards. It just has no idea what I actually want out of it, right? So that's what this template is for. So we are on the worksheet, the rune card worksheet. That's what we want. So I'm going to go over to template. This brings up the template editor. I'm going to add a layer of type image. Rename it to something useful. Image is just fine in this sense, but let's do main image just in case. Always prepare for making changes later. The dimensions is just fine. All we're going to do is put a simple image in here, so that's not a big deal. So we can either pick the images from our image folder. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe this is a bug. I'm going to quit. Best way to restart. I'm going to edit my rune puzzle again. I'm going to try that again. Edit the, we're going to click dynamic this time because that's what we actually want, because we want to use the spreadsheet to tell it which image to choose. And right now it doesn't know what image to put on there because we didn't give it the .png. So that's what we'll do here. Now, hey, excellent. Now we have our images showing up, and we can click on any of these up here to look and make sure that yes, our runes are showing up. That's great. Yes. But you can see they're cropped a little bit. That's not fun. So what we'll do is we will go to the image alignment, and this lovely little thing called fit just makes it fit. That's all I care about. I don't need it to be fancy. So that's all that is necessary. Again, we can take a look at all the numbers up here to verify, and then but we're ready to rock. This is what we wanted for our handout, so I'm just going to print the game and double check everything. Always double check everything, but you're gonna open up PDF and you can see that, you know, awesome, I can print this out, cut it up and use them as handouts. But one thing that's kind of nice is to be able to cut these appropriately, is getting some cut lines on there. So I always put a border on, so I forgot about that. So we'll go back to our template and we're going to add a border. Luckily we can just import straight shapes and name this border, right? And you can see that it already added this thick border, which we don't want that. We just want this tiniest bit of lines. So we're going to make this as spread as possible, pretty much, giving ourselves a little bit of wiggle room so it doesn't print exactly next to each other. And then we want, rectangle is fine because that's exactly what we want, to cut straight lines. But then we're going to come in here and we're going to make that width really tiny, perfect, so that it's easy to cut. And yeah, we're good to go. So now I'm going to try printing that game again. Open that guy up. And yeah, 5 of each card. Now you'll notice in my puzzle I had different colors here, and that is important. You know, you could edit your images, but I'm just going to put these in different sleeves for the different colors and call it good. Also because color printing is expensive. But hey, we used paperize to very quickly generate that. That is so cool, so awesome that I was able to do this for my players in a short amount of time. So excellent. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned a little bit, and we'll see you next time.